What's going on, shipmates? We are back here in Echo. This is Echocalypse Scarlet Covenant Global State of the Game Report from Admiral. So, this video is going to be with our second anniversary pretty much wrapping up and getting into the regular flow of the game again. I wanted to make this video. I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I finally get around to kind of do it. I pre-recorded, but it was all kind of jacked up. But I wanted to go over what's new, what's changed, my daily kind of routine in the game, what I've kind of changed with all the new stuff coming out in the game now. So I'm going to pretty much go over patrols. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the combat gear, my team setup, the other parts of team setup, which you should kind of start to look at. Then I'm going to go into kind of general goals for the game you should be achieving, and then kind of tips and tricks that I've learned from playing the game so far. And then I'm just going to end with kind of my goals, what I'm doing, kind of my way of playing. So, yeah, that's going to be it. We're going to jump in, and we're going to start with patrols. So, patrols. Obviously, there's basic ones here. Which pretty much is the Desperate Operation, Host Purification, Harvest, Abyssal Dive, Cage Fight. Those are your main patrols that you start out with when you play the game. And as you level up and get through the content of the game, you unlock the Street Brawl, Floral Oath, the Chimera Contract, Liberation, Dream Tour, and then these down here: Pneumonia Corrosion, Shadows of the Sentinels, Nightmare, Euphoria City, and Jungle Mirage. Change out. As you can see here, they all have times for when they're going to be here: 12 days, 3 days, 1 day, 4 day, 1 day, stuff like that. So they're constantly changing and being rotated and reset. Stuff like King of the Cage, that's part of that. So now, as far as patrols, Cage Fight, if you're into PvP and all that, obviously you can jump in there. It's not bad. You can do quick drills. You can kind of see and kind of gauge yourself against players that are similar level as you, and you can kind of guess. So what am I at now? 29. So I'm at level 87, and these people around me are level 90, level 95, 99. I could probably, no, 67 million. I'm only at 50. So yeah, 28, maybe 26, but I'm pretty sure they're all geared up pretty well. Maybe 24, but it kind of gives you a gauge on like where you're at, stuff like that. And then if you like PvP, you can jump in and try it. So Abyssal Dive, this one helps you give good equipment, stuff like that, as you go through it. And then just doing it daily gives you a lot of these abyssal points, which you can go and use it in the shop, which I'll explain a little bit later. Now, once you get through all 150 levels of Abyssal Dive, then you unlock Abyssal Illusion. Now, the main difference is it is a different type of currency you get. You get these illusion points, but it also opens up another shop other than the Abyssal, and that's where you go to get the UR equipments and the pieces for those. So definitely something you want to focus on and getting through Abyssal Dive. Kind of, don't rush through it. I mean, you can get pretty far by picking the right bonus attributes and stuff like that, because if you've done it before, pretty much as you go through, I've already done it for today, so it gives you an option like more attack, more buffs, this, that, and then if you pick it right, we can get pretty far. And then of course, once you hit a certain level, you'll be able to go through and kind of breeze through everything. But that helps you get set up, saving up these points to go into the shop and buying essentially the pieces that you need to make these equipments that you want. And then once you get a full set, obviously you're going to jump up in power and all that kind of stuff. So that's the Abyssal Dive. As you can see, I haven't gone that far into the illusion part, the URs. I've been slacking on that just in general. But definitely Abyssal Dive is something you want to pay attention to. Harvest is okay. I mean, you can only level up your units as much or as the same level your account is. So, but that necessarily doesn't limit their power. The equipment, the chimeras, the star breakthrough, the weapon, the vibration arm you have for them, all that adds more to it. The links adds more to it. So this is something you just want to do. When you press the automatic and kind of where it does it for you, let it do that. I mean, you're not going to be doing, unless you're just leveling up 10 levels at a time through. But also, side note, as you're leveling up your account level, it gets longer and longer and longer. So I'm at level 87, and I think it's like 2 or 3 million experience that I need to get to the next level, and it just keeps going up. So I'm just blown away by some of these accounts you guys may have seen that are like level 200, 300, 400 or something. It's like, well, they might be whales, which is okay, which I get that, but that's really hard to do, you know, free to play. Host purification is good. It's good for Neolith to level those up. So you want to do the dailies. You want to come in, do the 10, save up, and use that. Something you don't necessarily need to focus on, because if you're doing Abyssal Dive and everything else, that should follow with that. Desperate Operation. There, as you can see, there are all 3 levels of Desperate Operation. This is the basic one. As most of you guys, I don't know what part of the game you guys are at, but this is for the I cannot think of the word for these. It just blinked out. Anyway, these are the chimeras. There you go. As you can see here, you get the basic ones. You get them equipped. They have attributes, stuff like that. Now, the higher up you go, excuse me, the higher level of rarity the chimeras are. You can just see here in the first 3, you start with the SRs, and as you get to the 3rd stage and higher, you get you get the R's, and then you start to unlock the SS or the SRs. And once you get past this into the survival difficulty, then you start unlocking the SSRs. Now, if I remember correctly, this first part, Desperate Operation Ordinary, you just have to beat the previous stage to move on. When you hit survival, you have to hit a certain level, account level, to be able to unlock the next one. As you see, that's not short. It's a lot of them. So I just finished unlocking this last one at level 87. I want to say that again. I just unlocked this last one for survival difficulty at level 87. That is why I say in most of my videos, when I throw in tips and stuff, leveling up your account as fast as possible should be your main goal, because the higher level you are, the more you unlock, and when you unlock more to do in the game, like for example this stuff, it just super projects your team. Because I mean, SSRs here, I'm pretty much getting like pieces every time I do it, each 3 times that you have the attempts. And then it's like, boom, I have it all. I have so much I have right now that it's ridiculous. But that's what you should be focusing on to get through. Because once you hit probably like level 75, I want to say that's when you unlock like 95% of the game. Of course, there's still stuff that I haven't unlocked yet that I'm still working on. But that's why I always suggest it, because the faster you get through unlocked levels, you unlock everything else, and then it's just adding, and it'll jump your progress and your combat power. Last one here, Deadlock in Desperation, is the UR. So as you can see here at level 88, which I'm almost at, I can unlock this one, and I can finally go through and start collecting the UR. I can't even pull it up. That's whack. Chimeras pieces, which I do have some. I think I only have 2 right now that are actually on my That's on my team. Everything else is SSR. So, but as you can see here, once I get here, I still have to look at that 93, 94, 95, which I'm pretty sure I could probably blow these stages out of the water. But I don't unlock the final one until level 109, which is wild. 680 million recommended combat power. Insane, I know. Anyway, desperate operation. Like I said, I do have a video that's I'll probably put it in the description of this one, but it's like from like almost a year ago, where I kind of explain what to do and what each patrol is, but I'm just kind of giving a kind of an update on these. Now, these over here, I'm going to be honest, I don't participate in Street Brawl, Floor Oath, Liberation, or Dream Tour. You can. They all have their own individual shops that you can get numerous things from. But the only one that I really do and play every day is the Chimeric Contact. There's two different ones, and I just come in and I collect it. I pretty much stopped when I maxed out my SSRs before the URs came out. Or I'm sorry, when the URs came out and I pretty much had my team set, I went through this as far as possible and then I just left it alone. Now I do get pretty decent. As you can see here, I have a lot of points and stuff saved up, and I also have a lot of these as well. These Nutri Solutions, I have a bunch. You can come in once a day. It takes about 2 days for this to get to 100%. And that's it. That's how I get in. It's part of your dailies as well, your daily tasks. So it kind of gives you that as well, where you can get some free Morphite. But that's the only one I do. Like I said, you can do the other ones. There is, like I said, shops that do have some decent rewards and stuff you can buy. But I mean, other than that, that's all right. Now, moving on, these last parts of the patrols. These are the ones I do recommend you getting into and dabbling as much as possible. Because these rotate and they come for like a week and then they leave for like a month and come back, these shops are a lot more higher level rewards. So as you guys know, I've kind of mentioned it a couple times now, that the shop here for Euphoria City, this is one of the newer ones, you have UR selection cases. Like, that's really, I mean, you could, like, if you were to come in now, or I wouldn't say now, but like if you missed out on anything, you can come in here and you can just get a team of URs, put it up real quick, put it together. You're going to get each of their weapons, start breakthroughing them, and then like in a couple months, you'll have a decent team. Let's say you're like, hey, I want to skip URs, I have SSRs, I want to jump straight to MRs. That's fine. Get the SSR selection case. It has everybody, even the limited ones. Where's limited ones? I know for sure is where is she? Right there. One of the highest attacks for the SSR shot I just showed. But you can come in here and get the weapons. Start breakthrough, max it out. You'll have a crazy strong team. The shops, since I'm pretty much wrapping up patrols, the shops is the real key for patrols. You got to do patrols, part of your daily routine, just going through doing them as you can. The auto selector thing in the main menu does most of them for you, but these extra ones here that I was telling you, definitely partake in these. Jungle Mirage is okay. If you have the Renaissance cards unlocked, you can kind of use those to buy and get the higher rarity ones of the Renaissance cards. But it's a little difficult. It took me a little while to get through like a whole stage of Jungle Mirage. Niblet's Nightmare is cool. You pretty much, it's like a different style of the tower, attacking the tower. Pretty much you go through, you fight a battle, and then after that you get to pick a buff, and then you choose one of the two doors, either stronger or at your level kind of deal, and you just go through. I mean, you do get summon. There are summons in there for you to buy, so that one is something if you want to pay attention to. Shadows of Sentinels, you're gonna need be part of a clan and that clan needs to have a alliance to be able to play in that. So there are some that you can't, like you do need a bigger group or just like clans in general to do that. So obviously, if you're not a part of that, try it, because clans are good. There's a lot of good free rewards in there as well. And then of course I just covered the pneumonia corrosion, which is also a new patrol that you just put in. So like I said, the shops is where it's at. As you can see here, this is the shop area. So you got Sentinel procurement. Look, you can buy. Oh, look right there. I'm gonna get them right now. Oh, I can get 2. Dang. So I definitely got to do a little bit more in Sentinel. But like I was saying, look, you have all 5 of the different banners. S Elementium, you have the Neolith, you have Gashbond ticket for the Elementals, Living Metal for your Vibration Arms, and the Resonances card pack. You have 5 free summons right there for just participating and getting the rewards, or not the rewards, the currency in those patrols. Tactical procurement. Those procurements are the regular ones. Of course, you have the cage. That one's all right. Proof of bond are the ones I really only use to get the affinity up. Abyss, as you know. Where is it? So these are the regular ones, the SSRs, and then of course you get achievements for getting all that. Colorful procurement. This is where the UR equipments are. Now I have not seen MR yet, but I do know it's coming because they just added MR treasures. So it's only a matter of time before they add MR equipment and chimeras. So be on the lookout for that. And then of course all these other ones, the syndicate that has stuff that's going to be your clan, the faith, the summoning banner. And then when you get down here, these are some of the ones that rotate. Oh, there's pneumonia right there. Look, there's a SSR selection. Eureka, the sky. Look at that. URS generic neolith. Fragment select, shiny ceremony. There's some more summons in there. Dead Sea exchange. More summons. They got UR equipment. UR chimera selection chest. Those are bomb. So the main summary for patrols is do the patrols, do your dailies, collect your currency for those patrols, the ones that rotate as well. And then when they do come in and rotate, go to the shop, get your free stuff. All right, so next on the list is the combat gear. So this is another thing I wanted to go over. So combat gear is these 8 features that you can see here. You got your tactical, resonance card, echo laboratory, grand blueprint, treasure, witch's den, elemental, vibration arms. So elemental and vibration arms, you guys should know. Elemental is obviously these guys. You come in here, level them up. The vibration arms is the weapon that coordinates with the unit. Now you can flip and flop and switch them out if you need to, but of course you want to get the ones that match up with the actual unit. So those I'm not going to really go into too deep. Now the one I do want to go into, so Witch's Den. So the witches are kind of new. I'll show you guys kind of what this does. This is like the main menu for it. So you have this here, which increases, it's like a little interaction. You get to have some conversation with which Prinny or whichever witch you do decide. If you have Nightingale or Lilith, you can put them here too. So you get that you trust, it levels them up. If you go to this one here, the Rose, this is where you can actually level her up. So you do need these Sanity the Exlers, which you get from the event, the Witch event, which they haven't done in like a month. So of course you can start breakthrough them as well, and then doing these boosts. I'll be honest, I haven't really messed with these. I just know that if your charm is higher than your opponent's, the witches do nullify and 3 units from the opposite team. So for example, if yours is higher, 3 of the opposing units from the team you're fighting, they won't be able to get any buffs or give out any debuffs for I want to say it's for like 3 or 4 rounds. which isn't bad. So pretty much it kind of helps. It gives you an advantage and it locks up the characters for a little bit. And then, of course, they're kind of like Elementals and Neoliths as well. She does do damage and has certain skills to help you in the fight as well. The little text box here, you can chit chat with her. I believe it's AI. You can just be like, you can see here, she's been sending me stuff. And then you can just be like, hey, what's happening? And then she'll respond. Let's see. And then you can read it, stuff like that. I mean, it's if you're into that and you like doing the date parts and all the marriage and the stuff of the game, dive into it, get after it. That's what you can do there. So, but all that, this is kind of what the witches do. Let's do the treasure. I kind of went over the treasure a little bit, but let's dive a little bit more into it. So, I believe you can unlock treasures in when you hit level 70 or around that level, somewhere around there. If you do see it, like it's grayed out, and you click on it under that combat gear section, it'll tell you what level you need to be to unlock it. So, but excuse me. Yeah, so treasures are just another part of the game to give you combat power. As you can see here, there's 3 to 1 little section. This is for phrase, wheat, grain. As you can see here, it's these 3: the quills, the golden saber, and the golden wheat. Each one, this is all right. So each one has 7 star breakthroughs, and then as a whole, as the 3, as a trilogy, you can star breakthrough them 7 times as well as the group. So what is that, 28 star breakthroughs? I've messed with this a little bit, mainly because I just wanted to know, or I wanted to know what they did and what they do, and then I saw kind of the depth of it. I would only really mess with this with the ones that you really want to use. Obviously, as you do, because you do get 3 free summons a day for this for the treasure banner, so that's not bad. And the pity is only 40, so doing 3 a day, I mean, you can hit pity once every 2 weeks, and that's going to be an SSR or MR now. The MRs have been added, but in between that, you're getting multiples, you're getting breakthrough, so it's not bad. It really isn't. It does seem like a lot to do, but like I said, the main thing of treasures is they all have specific areas of the game that they give you buffs on. For this one, breakthrough privilege, this gives you desperate operation. All allies resistance is +3 per battle. So with total bonus resistance 81 if you have all 3, and then you can just enhance them if you want to. So like I said, I would just focus on the ones that you actually can use, because most of this is for other parts of the game, like PvP. Obviously, if you're into PvP and you want to get more of an advantage in there, you could look for those treasures, level them up, and add them. Or I'll show you the other part in the actual, when we get to the squad, there's a part that actually gives you regular squad HP buff. It's small, it's like 1% or something like that, or like +3 in attack, something small. But those are the ones I would really focus on, unless, like I said, there's a certain part of the game that you're slacking on, you want more help or more power in that, then you can kind of look through and see which ones give you those bonus attributes and power. So that's the treasures. Grand Blueprint, I've messed with this a little bit. So this is this, so as you can see here, you got 5 different currencies up here. These are Elementals, the vibration arms, you got the Neolith case, and then this last one is ambition. And you can see here you got 4 different sections, and then you just go through. Let's do vibration arms. So this is something that you just increase level it up for 450. I only got 625. So then it's going to increase the HP bonus from 1016 to 2032. Gives me 2800 and combat power. So this is something I haven't worked on at all, as you can tell, just because everything else is there's so much else going on. But if you're kind of caught up in the sense of everything else, this is something you can dive into and kind of focus. I mean, it's not bad. You can level that up. I have a lot of, what is that, Neolith? Or is that Vibration? Neolith. Neolith down here. So I can go through, get that, or I can actually come in here and unlock this now. Bam. Bam. And then down here at the bonuses, it tells you what the full bonus is. Not much, as you can see. Like I said, I haven't got a chance to really partake in it at all. So it's okay. I mean, it's just another, like I said, a lot of these in the combat gear is just giving you more and more. So that's why some of those people you see are like 103 million, 200 million. It's because they have like all of this little stuff maxed out already. Renaissance card, same thing, another part. I would work on activating before promotion, because if you have dupes of a card, it will have activate and promotion. So for example, if I had, look at this, I need 4 of these, and there's, or I'm sorry, I have 3 of these, I still need 2 more, but those 3 that are glowing can be used over here as well. So if I have them for something else, like right there, so if I were to use it for this one, then this one wouldn't be able to be activated. If I were to do, like, if I had this already activated and promoted it, I would suggest to save and try to activate as many cards as possible. So let's do this big one, because the more you activate, the more these grand tokens you get, the bigger the buff. And I'll show you. So that one, I think we just hit a buff. These are both activated. Dope. 10-9. I just want to activate, show you guys. And then, all right, so those are done. So if you go back here, let's go back to the menu. So down here, the grand tokens down here. Click that. This is what I'm talking about. So you can see here, these bonus attributes I have on the bottom, those are get added to the team. So as you hit these different ones, they just get unlocked more and more. So when I do this, bam, 256, all of that, plus 11,000 HP, plus 300 resistance, armor plus 300, all attack plus 600, all HP bonus plus 4%. So that's what I mean when I say you want to focus on the activation and not necessarily the promotion, because the promotions don't give you this progress points. The activation does. Promo. So we're gonna skip that one. I only need a few more. Man, those are all promo. Oh no. Did I just look at these? I just did, let's do Ethereal Pal, promotion. Shooting the breeze, promotion. And as you, oh, there's an activate right there. And as you, obviously, once you get to a point, you're going to be getting the same ones in a sense. So you're going to get less and less activation. And then you're going to have to get the higher rarity ones, like the SRs, the SSRs. And there are a couple of URs now as well. That's Renaissance cards. It does have its own little summoning banner. Tactical set. This one, I didn't really get it at first. All it is, from what I see, it's for your character, like your actual unit. As you guys know, some people do use them still, because you can't level, kind of max them out to SSR. You don't necessarily need dupes. There's just certain things you do in the game. Um, I mean, that was it. I mean, you can see you can do that. You can break through. You can add some, but I don't use them anymore. So there wasn't really a point. So I kind of just left it alone. But if you are, that's an area we can go into and get it leveled up. Now, last part of the combat gear is Echo Laboratory. Now, 3 parts. You have collection, you have data tree, and then terminal. You do collect those chips, which help you. We'll go to that in a minute. But collection platform pretty much is once you get a new case, a new Neolith, a new vibration or outfit, Elemano, you unlock these here that you can import. And once you do that, it increases your progress that you get per hour. Of course, you want to do as much as possible and get as many progress points you can per hour, because then I'll show you here in a minute what that does for you. But buff overview, all this is getting added. So it's good to pay attention to it. Once you unlock it, there's going to be a lot to do, and you can only do so much a day. So I believe for the case, you can only do 4 Neolith. I think it's 4. The outfit I think is 1. Vibrations is 4. Elemano I think is 1. You can only activate 1 a day. But once you unlock it, you'll see that data tree. This is where you use the chips. As you can see here, I've done quite a bit. And essentially what you do is it's just giving you bonus buffs. So this one here, once I get 10,000 of these, activate all crit strength goes up 3%. This one is block strength, HP added, all attack added. And then once you hit here, you need both of them to upgrade the terminal to level 18. Then you can keep going. This is all the bonus for that one. For this one, not bad. It's getting better. But it's just, I mean, look at that, 183,000 more HP for everybody, plus 10,000 more attack. So in the grand scheme of things, of course, doesn't feel like much, but it does count. And then last part is Echo Terminal. This gives you bonus attributes as well. So for cases, depending on the level of or the rarity of the cases, it gives you a certain percentage. You can see here the one that I have is 4%. Katana, she's really high level, so she's actually 7%. And these other ones down here, the more star breakthrough, the more resistance. This one here, it's more case mastery. It just gives you more bonus here. So you see you can increase the quantity to 6. Activate it just helps you progress the Echo Laboratory better. And that's it for combat gear, because that is something you do need to pay attention to kind of in general for the game. As you progress through, you're going to get through like leveling up your unit, equipping the Chimera's equipment pretty quickly, and once you get the hang of it, it's going to be real quick to kind of upgrade it or replace it, do whatever. But the combat gear, this is what you really need to pay attention to and start, because this is like little stuff, but once, as you can see, once you add it all up, it can be a big boost to your combat power. Now, next thing is the team setup. I know this is going to be a long video, but I'm going to put chapters into this so you can just jump to whatever one you feel like you need to look over or whatever. So, team setup. So, you should know the basics of this. Links, you want as many links as possible because it gives your unit more power. The skills, the combat gear there, the chimeras you want to equip the right equipment and chimeras that's going to help the unit the best. So of course, if they're a DPS unit, you want an attack focused equipment and chimeras. For the tanks, you want the healing ones. So this one I gave the HP version, so she's getting HP plus 42,000, HP bonus plus 10%, block plus 10%, dodge plus 10%, and then on top of that, all these other ones here individually give stats as well. And then the Chimera's here. This one's attack. I did the modify upgrades of a crit and damage bonus because her attack isn't that high. Damage reduction and dodge, and then of course HP and resistance. Because she is a tank, you want damage reduction as much as possible so that she can last and do tanky things. And of course, equipment is there. All that stuff I'm not going to really dive into because that's kind of the basics, and the game will guide you through all that stuff. But I did want to go over the actual deploy, this part here. So basics of the squad is what I'm going to hit up. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about links. So I'm going to start with the assist. Now, excuse me, there's only 20 spots. You only have 20 assists, but the max amount of links you can have is 24. There is 4 per unit, 6 units, so 24 links is the most you can have. But how do you achieve that? Of course, this kind of gears you toward and pushes you to have the same faction team. That'll help you get to 24 links, because what's going to happen is you're going to have units that share the same assistant. It could be for a different attribute, like one could be for increasing attack, for another unit it could be increasing HP. But essentially there's going to be units that do 2 links for 2 different units rather than 1 for 1. So just wanted to show you guys that, because I did something. I was like, well, I want to, because I was kind of messing with it not too long ago, and I was like, why is it that, you know, I'm not doing full 24, but, you know, I feel like I'm missing some. But anyway, so moving on. Artifacts. So the Neoliths is the artifacts. You can put these kind of, obviously you want to put the one you want to be used first in the first slot. That's kind of how it works. Because as you can see here, they each cost 4 Neolith power to be activated, and this is going to go in order when you have it in auto battle. Now, if you're manually battling somebody or whatever part of the game, then you can choose which one to activate. But if you have it on auto, kind of like I do, I just auto through everything. Is going to just start with the first one, which is flag, and just going to go down the line. So I do kind of need to rearrange this a little bit. Obviously, we're going to put the MR first, and then the flag second, and the last 2. But that's how that's set up. El Hermano is the same way. You have 5 that you can put on there, and they just get used. Those actually get used depending on their skill. Because I know for me, he gets used first, my bird, and then the horse comes out, does his freezing thing, and then after that is gonna be my flame bird. Then it's the little guys here, I forget what they're called, the ferrets, and then surprisingly the last one to activate his skill is the white dragon. So it doesn't really matter which order you have them in. They're just going to be activated whichever way they are. Because I believe I can't even see. Can I? Oh, it's not going to let me look it up. Because I believe my hawk is actually a higher level than my white dragon. That's probably why it does that. So, all right, moving on. Of course, this is where and then this is where the witches go. As you can see, you can have up to 3 witches, which is great because we only have 3 witches at the moment. So you can put them there, and then they just, I don't only have 1, so I'm not too sure what happens when you have 2. I'm literally 3 pieces away from getting Witch Lilith, so I'm almost there. Hopefully with the next time they run that event, I'll be able to get it. Now, last part is the treasure skill. This is what I was talking about. So as you can see here, you saw I had a bunch. I have 103 different treasures, but I don't have any SSR URs or MRs that fit into this slot, which actually can be used for your team. So this East Rise Sanctum consists of these 3. And what does it do? Wow, it does actually a lot. Allied damage bonus, allied damage reduction, resistance, armor, damage reduction. Oops. Obviously, you have to start breakthrough to get all that unlocked. But mountains and sea secrets back row pierce up. At the start of the second round, increase the pierce rate of back row allies by 4% for 2 rounds. And it just increases the pierce rate. So, that's cool. That's not bad. And then if you want to look at these individually, Abyssal Illusion, Desperate Operation, and then what does Golden Wheel do? Liberation. But as a total general, all 3 together, it gives this set skill, which is cool. Of course, I have an Eastrise team, so why not? I'm just going through the top. Ally HP. Yeah, I'll take it. Bam. So that's where the treasures go, and that's it for the squad setup. Pretty easy, straight to the point kind of deal. Now, next part is the main general goals you want to be having and the main tips. So for this game, my main suggestion for this game is to figure out what kind of team you want. I decided at first, when I first started playing the game, before it was Scarlet Covenant and it was just regular Echo, I was just going after whoever looked the coolest and was kind of like quote unquote meta, and just trying to look for the strongest unit and just put them all together. Now, I did get decently far with that mentality, but I got to a point where I just got stuck and I wasn't progressing through the story. I wasn't progressing through this, so I ended up just falling behind kind of the curve of the content of the game. So what I did was like, you know what, with this Scarlet Covenant, it's kind of new. I'm going to start over. And I went for same faction. I saw that when you have the same factions, you only need 2 and you can get these buffs. You do it a couple different ways. You could do 3 and 3, you can do 2, 2, 2, you can do 4 and 2, and then of course if you want to do all 6, you're gonna need all 6. So I did that and my team took off once I figured out, is, you know what, I have Eastrise, most of them are my strongest ones anyway. I'm just gonna stick with that faction. So then after that, I just started focusing on those, and once I did that, that's when my combat power really took off. Now, if you watched my video where I got Imar Kala here, when I added her to the team, my combat power actually dropped because she's not the same faction, and I ended up losing ally attack 440 and HP plus 5%. So now, not only are I'm not getting the 6 buffs, but only 5 out of my 6 units are getting these buffs. Mimar Kala is not, because she's not Eastrise. So that's something I would definitely suggest should be your first step in the game. What do you want? What kind of team do you want? And then once you figure that out, then you can really focus on what to do in the game. Once you have that out, figured out, then you can be like, okay, I want an all Bifrost team or an all Empire team. Then all you do is you get what you can so far, put the team together. Maybe you only have 4, or maybe you only have 3 Empires or whatnot, and then the other ones are random, which is fine. You could do that. Focus on those 3, and then when these draws come up that feature somebody like Imar Masa, who is Bifrost, like, hey, here's a 4th Bifrost I can use. I'll summon, I'll chase her, add her to the team, try to get her weapon with that, to give her even more bonus combat power. And then once you do that, you come back here, you go to your advanced draw, right here. You click on this, and this here, this draw calibration only has units you already have. So once you have that unit, that one that you have that you just summoned, then you come out of the limited banners and you come here For example, right now I have MR Katana selected, and then guess what? Then you just focus here, 50 for the pity, and then you can just keep summoning for the same unit. And then that's how you start breakthrough. That's how you max them out. That's how you get higher levels of their skills unlocked. Because the base ones that I review, they're not, most of the time they're not great. It's like 100, 290% or whatever. When you get to that 7-8 star breakthrough, or I'm sorry, 6-7 star breakthrough level, it jumps up to like 500%, 600%, 700% damage. The numbers get crazy, and that's where they really truly unlock their full potential. And then they even unlock extra buffs and debuffs that they can do. So that's my base strategy starting off. I just kind of summon because I record, I do this, and I feature, and then of course certain units that are really popular I get, and then I try them out, put them in the squad, and then I kind of do like more in-depth reviews just to kind of show. But that's literally what I do as far as like progressing through the game. So once you do that, you do your daily routine, you do these because you get 150, or I'm sorry, you get 100 free Morphite from there. You do the Echo Treaty, you do the Resource Chain, which is the Battle Pass. Even if it's the free version, obviously, if you want to spend money, this is where it's going to be, because you can get crazy amount of resources, definitely a lot of free summons and stuff like that. But those two there are the ones you can get that. Take part of these. I mean, these are always great too, to just get your free 20 summons and stuff like that. And then you just wait. You do the story modes, you get the free 1500 Morphite you can get from the story. You check it out, you do all the basics, your dailies, and then like I said, and then once somebody is featured that you really want, like for example the next wave of Eastrise and Bifrost double MR new units comes in, then you can drop, then you can, because you'll be saving your Morphite if you're just doing that. Or let's say like, hey, for a week I'm just gonna skip everything, I'm just gonna collect as much as possible, nothing's really coming out. You see a new unit comes out for 12 days, now you're like, well, I got 2 weeks before anything else new. Then you're just saving up, and then once that unit comes, for example for me that was Katana, when she came I spent everything. I got down to like 10,000 Morphite. I used like 45,000 Morphite on top of like whatever summons I had saved up, which was I think another 40 or 50. And now she's the strongest unit I've ever had. She's 4-star, and she's about to be 5-star. I just need her one more. Oh, I'm sorry, she's 5 stars. I just need one more copy of her and she'll be 6 stars. And then I'll only need to get her one more time to fully break through her and unlock her full potential. And that unit's only been out a couple weeks, and I didn't spend any money to achieve that. So that's it, shipmates. I know it's a bit of a long video, but I did want to do this because I kind of feel like for my audience, for you guys, I do have a lot of different people who are like starting off, some in the middle. I have gotten a few comments and messages saying that nobody's at my level of progression so far. Everybody else is kind of beginning or whatnot. So I did want to show this as somebody who's been playing the game for over a year consistently, kind of how I got here, what I did, and things that I've learned in the process of playing this game. But that's it, shipmate. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's a long video, so like I said, if you do need to skip around to get to the part where you want to learn, like I said, I'm gonna give a pretty good detailed chapter description on these. Like patrols are gonna kind of show which patrols, combat gear, what I go over, all that good stuff. So other than that, shipmates, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys in the next game. Fair winds and following seas. See ya.